Surah Ash-Shaff, also known as the Ranks, is the 61st chapter of the Holy Qur'an. It has 14 verses and is located in the 28th juz. The surah addresses the believers, urging them to align their actions with their words. It emphasizes the importance of sincerity and truthfulness in faith. This surah was revealed in Medina, a period when Muslims were establishing their community and facing external threats. The central themes include unity, obedience, and the significance of striving in the path of Allah. The surah stresses that believers should not just make empty claims, but should back them up with righteous deeds. The term Ash-Shaff translates to the ranks, indicating the importance of organization and discipline among the believers. It calls for the unity of Muslims standing in solid ranks, especially in times of conflict. This surah also highlights the historical struggles of previous prophets and their people. Reading Surah Ash-Shaff reminds Muslims of their responsibilities. It serves as a call to action, prompting them to live with integrity and to support each other in faith. The surah is a powerful reminder that true belief is demonstrated through consistent righteous actions. The reasons for the revelation, Asbabun Nuzul, of Surah Ash-Shaff are deeply rooted in the historical context of the early Muslim community. One significant reason was to address the inconsistency between the words and deeds of some believers. They would proclaim their readiness to fight in Allah's cause, but hesitate when the time arrived. One notable incident involves the companions of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. They discussed their commitment to jihad, expressing their willingness to sacrifice everything. However, when actual battles approached, some were reluctant to participate. This inconsistency prompted Allah to reveal verses urging them to align their words with their actions. Verse 2 of Surah Ash-Shaff states, "O you who have believed, why do you say what you do not do?" This verse was directed at the believers who made promises they did not fulfill. The surah continues to condemn this behavior and calls for truthfulness and genuine commitment. The surah also addresses the concept of jihad, not only as a physical struggle, but as an effort to live a righteous life. It emphasizes that believers should not fear sacrifices in the path of Allah. The message is clear. Actions must reflect one's faith, and promises made to Allah should be honored with sincerity and dedication. Surah Ash-Shaff includes references to the stories of previous prophets, such as Prophet Musa, Moses, and Prophet Isa, Jesus. These stories serve as lessons and reminders for the believers. They illustrate the challenges faced by the prophets and their steadfastness in conveying Allah's message. Prophet Musa's story highlights the stubbornness of his people. Despite witnessing miracles, many of them doubted and disobeyed him. The surah recounts Musa's plea to his people to enter the Holy Land and fight for it. Their refusal to do so led to their prolonged wandering in the desert, illustrating the consequences of inaction and disbelief. The story of Prophet Isa is also significant in Surah Ash-Shaff. It mentions how he foretold the coming of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. This prophecy links the messages of previous prophets to the final message of Islam, emphasizing the continuity and consistency of divine guidance. Both stories underscore the importance of obedience to Allah and His messengers. They remind believers of the trials faced by those who came before them and the importance of steadfastness in faith. The stories also highlight the consequences of failing to act upon one's beliefs, reinforcing the central theme of consistency between words and deeds. Section 4. Meaning of the Surah. The verses of Surah Ash-Shaff convey the greatness of Allah and His expectations from the believers. The surah begins by glorifying Allah, stating that everything in the heavens and earth praises Him. This sets the tone for the surah, reminding believers of Allah's omnipotence and the importance of worship. The surah then addresses the believers directly, calling them to align their actions with their words. It condemns those who say what they do not do, highlighting the hypocrisy and the harm it causes to the community. The message is clear. True believers must be sincere and consistent in their faith and actions. Verse 8 of the surah declares, "They want to extinguish the light of Allah with their mouths, but Allah will perfect His light, although the disbelievers dislike it. This verse reassures the believers of Allah's support and the ultimate triumph of His guidance. It encourages them to remain steadfast and not be swayed by the opposition. The surah also calls for believers to strive in Allah's cause, promising great rewards for those who do. It emphasizes that the path of faith requires effort and sacrifice, but assures that the rewards are far greater. The surah ultimately serves as a guide for living a life of sincerity, consistency, and dedication to Allah's commands. Section 5, Main Message. The main message of Surah Ash-Shaff is the importance of consistency between words and deeds. The surah repeatedly stresses that believers should not make empty promises or claims. Instead, they should back their words with sincere actions that reflect their faith. This message is particularly relevant in the context of the early Muslim community, where some professed their readiness to fight in Allah's cause but hesitated when the time came. The surah addresses this hypocrisy directly, urging believers to honor their commitments to Allah and to each other. The emphasis on consistency is not limited to physical jihad, but extends to all aspects of life. Whether in worship, ethical conduct, or community obligations, believers are called to be truthful and dependable. The surah highlights that true faith is demonstrated through actions, and mere words without corresponding deeds are meaningless. This message is timeless and applies to all believers, regardless of their circumstances. It serves as a reminder that faith is a comprehensive commitment requiring sincerity and integrity. By living in accordance with their words, believers can strengthen their faith and contribute positively to their community. Section 6, Virtues and Benefits. Reciting Surah Ash-Shaff has numerous virtues and benefits for a believer. One of the main benefits is the reminder it provides to live a life of integrity and sincerity. By regularly reciting this surah, believers can reinforce the importance of aligning their actions with their words. Another benefit of reciting Surah Ash-Shaff is the spiritual strength it offers. The surah reassures believers of Allah's support and the ultimate triumph of His guidance. This can be particularly comforting in times of difficulty, providing a sense of hope and resilience. The surah also encourages believers to strive in Allah's cause, promising great rewards for those who do. This can motivate believers to engage in positive actions, whether through community service, charitable deeds, or personal improvement. The promise of divine reward can inspire believers to go beyond their comfort zones in their efforts to live righteously. Moreover, the surah serves as a powerful reminder of the continuity of divine guidance. By recounting the stories of previous prophets, it reinforces the connection between past and present, highlighting the consistency of Allah's message. This can strengthen a believer's faith and sense of belonging to a long tradition of divine guidance. Section 7, Conclusion. In conclusion, Surah Ash-Shaff offers profound lessons and reminders for believers. It emphasizes the importance of consistency between words and deeds, urging believers to live with integrity and sincerity. The surah calls for unity and steadfastness, particularly in times of difficulty, and reassures believers of Allah's support and guidance. The historical context and the reasons for the revelation of specific verses highlight the challenges faced by the early Muslim community. The stories of previous prophets serve as powerful reminders of the trials and triumphs of those who came before us, reinforcing the need for steadfastness in faith. Reciting Surah Ash-Shaff provides numerous virtues and benefits, from spiritual strength to the motivation for positive actions. It serves as a reminder of the ultimate rewards promised by Allah for those who strive in His cause. As we reflect on the lessons of Surah Ash-Shaff, let us strive to align our actions with our words, live with sincerity and integrity, and support each other in faith. By doing so, we can strengthen our community and draw closer to Allah, fulfilling His expectations and earning His reward.